Good morning, dear people of the internet, and welcome to a brand new video that will fulfill all your dopamine needs so you don't have to go to PopMart to buy your 76 Laboo doll. I'm sure you've seen those overconsumption videos by now of people filling their house with a lot of stuff they don't need because they have like 100 of them, and then they post it to TikTok with the hashtag overconsumption like they're proud of it. Well, that's a thing of last year mostly, but that doesn't mean that overconsumption is a thing of the past. It's just about 1% more subtle nowadays. So today I'm going to show you some new or new-ish trends that actually are overconsumption. Before we get started though, I'm trying to grow my channel on here so it can help me affording college a little bit. I know that's very delusional and I know that probably will never happen, but you can help me make my delusional dream come true by simply subscribing and watching my videos if you like them, which I would appreciate so much. Because college is expensive and I love being in art school because I'm in art school and also sell these and zines and prints online. And you can find that in the description. Anyways, you can help me a lot with that by just subscribing and watching my videos. And if you want to have some cute art, you can check that out too. Thank you. Now let's get started. Starting with the obvious, we have the Laboos. I know, but we do need to talk about them in this context for a second. If you have missed it, Laboos are creepy dolls with teeth, like this one, that come in overpriced blind boxes. They are so popular that they are pretty much always sold out on the PopMart website, and people stand in line for them when they have a new shop drop in real life at stores. As someone with ADHD, as someone who has been unpopular during all of my life at school until like a year ago basically, I wouldn't say that I'm popular now, but like I feel not excluded now, which is nice. And as someone who likes weird things, I feel like I understand this Laboo trend from all possible angles I can think of. First, you have the thrill of buying something new and mysterious, because I feel like unboxing these is initially very good for your brain chemicals. Until you have more than 6 and you realize you spent 300 euros on them and you still haven't gotten the blue one you actually wanted. And a year later, when you're tidying up your room, you don't know where to put them anymore, so you just feed them to your trash can. Secondly, we have wanting to fit in. Everyone at school and every cool influencer online has one, so it makes it seem like having one is a requirement for being cool. I can remember being 12 years old and all the cool girls in my class had Nike Air Max and a Sandra belt, and I couldn't afford that growing up, so I didn't have those, even though I genuinely also thought they looked cool. And I was also one of those nerdy kids, so I already wasn't part of the cool kids, but not having these things made me even less part of the cool kids, if that makes sense. I feel like 12 years old is the time that these kind of things start to become sort of important in a way. And I don't want to say that Laboos only are for very young people, but I feel like most people that have them are very young, and then there are also some older people who want them. The real question to ask yourself here is, do I want to belong within this social group, and is participating in this trend worth belonging in this social group? Which is an incredibly hard question to really answer for yourself, and I couldn't do that when I was 12, of course, but I assure you that learning to ask yourself that question is way better for your brain soup than buying some plastic doll that will eventually end up in the landfill. Lastly, we have people who actually like Laboos. I can guarantee you that a lot, if not most of the people who participate in the trend don't actually like them, because imagine if the nerdy kid at school showed up with a Laboo and no one else has them, they're not popular at all, just some weird creepy doll, and that wouldn't make them more popular, wouldn't they? So I feel like it's a trend because it's a trend, you know? Most people don't like them. I feel like they wouldn't be popular if it weren't for those people who actually like them and then made them popular. But it wasn't the nerdy kid at school that made them popular, it were people like K-pop star Lisa, Beyonce and Kim Kardashian. Buying one singular Laboo because you actually like them is okay in my opinion. But people are buying 20 of them at a time and unboxing them online just to get views. And I really hope that I don't have to explain to you why that's wrong, because that's just terrible overconsumption. You don't need 20 of them. What are you even gonna do with them? And if you just like weird plushies, there are a lot of small business people who handmade them for about the same price even, like me, by the way, but also a lot of other people who make them on commission, not Laboo specific. I feel like that some people would crochet you a Laboo. I don't think that's my thing. But anyways, if you want a weird, unique plushie, you can just go to a small business. Speaking of handmade, we have to look at the newest microtrend, which is beaded bags.
I found all the beaded bags that I was hunting for and some, so I want to show you guys my whole collection now. First and foremost, a bestie actually shipped this one to me. I still to this day have not seen this bag, but it's just a martini beaded bag, and I just am obsessed with this, and I love the little stars. I feel like this is a perfect nighttime one. Then we have the really cute tassel one. I love this. It just looks really festive. Next is the lemon sun with the diver. This one's so cute. And there's also one with champagne bottles, and I actually got this on sale for $29 instead of $35. One of my favorites, and I actually have the matching sandals to go with it. And then the cherry one, I actually found this one last summer, but I also added this little crochet charm to it. So cute. Next is the martini beaded bag. I love the green and yellow together, and I also love how it's striped in the back. And then the crawfish one, I think it's crawfish or lobsters, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought it was so cute, and like the sand detail on the bottom. This one is actually unreal. It is so beautiful. It's like my second favorite I think I have, because the details and just the turtles itself are adorable, but this one, if you find it, highly recommend. And then the tomato one. I am obsessed with tomatoes, so I knew I needed this bag, but the detail in this is insane. These are so gorgeous, and I love that it's like a full flap. This one's definitely smaller than the other ones, but I still love it, and it was $30. This Aperol Spritz one, oh my god, I have too many favorites, but this one I actually really love too. It's the same design as the tomato one with the larger flap in the front, but again, the detail is impeccable. This is my favorite beaded bag. I can't get over the freaking shape. I have the Coach Empire, which is like a similar shape. I don't know, something about the way the design on this bag just gets me, okay? And it was $35. This is my number one. I couldn't get over the colors together. Purple, yellow, pink, beige, white, like, I don't know. And I loved the beads, these wooden beads that came with it. I didn't even know this one existed. I saw it in the store for the first time and grabbed it so fast. And then my sunflower one, I used this for like 3 weeks. I couldn't change it out. I just love it so much. My favorite flower is a sunflower. So when I saw this one, someone's TikTok, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna need that one.
There are 3 ways to make beaded bags that I could find on the internet, and here they are from least to most labor intensive. First is crocheting them. Then every stitch you make needs to have a bead, and crochet cannot be done by machine, so you can imagine that's very labor extensive, because you also have to put the bead on the string and then crochet every stitch and then put a bead in every stitch with your hand. So that's very labor intensive. Second is weaving. You have to go row by row and lining them up, and you also have to put them on the string by hand, or there are tools for that, but it's still very labor intensive even if you have those tools. And then you have machine embroidery, where the beads are not actually in the fabric but on the fabric, which makes it less sturdy in most cases, but not all cases. You have machines for the embroidery part, but you still have to put the beads on the string, and you can do that with a tool, but the tool is not a machine, so it's still very labor intensive. In other words, the making of these bags takes a lot of work, and in this video most of them only costed $25 each, which is incredibly unfair pricing, as you can imagine, because it takes longer than an hour to make one, and from that $25 you need to pay the maker, to pay the materials, to pay for the shipping, to pay for the store place, to pay for the design, to pay for the employees at the store, to pay for upper management, and you can imagine that the person making it is not getting the most money from this. Now, unfair pricing within fast fashion is nothing new, but I want to talk about it because this creator is framing themselves as a bag collector, and I think that the line between overconsumption and collecting is very blurry, and I'm not the authority on which is which, but I am going to tell you why I refuse to see this person simply as a collector and not as an overconsumer and overconsumption promoting person. First of all, most of these bags still have the tags on them, which is very weird, because the only reason I can think of these bags still having the tags on them is for their resale value. But these bags are fast fashion bags, and I promise you they are not going to go up in price anytime soon. Like, if you have a really expensive designer bag from Hermes or something, yes, leave the tags and everything on. They don't have these kinds of tags even, but leave the tags on if you are going to resell it, because the resale market for that is crazy. The resale market for beaded bags from TJ Maxx is not crazy and will never be crazy, so it doesn't make any sense. Now, people in the comments have been speculating that she's returning the bags after just making these videos, and I'm I'm not entirely sure about that, but it doesn't really matter. That the tags are still on also means that she's not using them. So she's using some of them, as she says, probably, but not all of them. So why do we even have them to put them on display with the tags on? It looks like an ad in disguise. Like, see these cheap bags from this cheap store. And I feel like it actually is an ad because she also tagged the store and the store has commented on them. That made it seem like she was gifted these bags, but still, having the tag still on is crazy. She did say that she used one of them for 3 weeks, like that is a very long time, like insinuating that it's a very long time, 3 weeks. I've been using the same bag for 3 years. It's still perfectly fine, it has no holes, no breakages, no anything, and I'm not gonna replace it anytime soon. 3 weeks for using a bag continuously. I get that some people use bags for fashion, and that's what these bags are for, and that's totally fine, and I get that you won't use them every single day or change them out a lot, and you can have a few and change them out, but there were 13 bags that I could count in this video, maybe even more. Which is also the second reason why I refuse to see this person as a collector, because 12 or 13 bags for $25 equals like $300, for which price you could actually commission an artist to make you a beaded bag, I think. And then you would have a unique piece that is worth collecting, because I feel like collecting would be about collecting unique stuff instead of just fast fashion stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this is overconsumption because of this. Because for this $300 you can buy it for a more fair price from someone who actually made it for you, and you can also tell them what you want in the design. It's just hoarding and promoting overconsumption. This way of consuming is not okay. Okay, so lastly, we cannot talk about overconsumption without talking about water bottles for some reason, like reusable water bottles, which is very weird because reusable water bottles are here so we don't buy a plastic water bottle from the grocery store every time we go out of the house. So it's supposed to be helpful for nature, but I'm not really sure about that anymore. Like in 2018 we had the Save the Turtles movement with the Visco Girls and the Hydro Flask, so a specific brand water bottle. And in 2023 I believe we had the Stanley Cups, and believe it or not, there is a new one. Don't you fear, the Owala is here. It's perfect for everyone that loves their Stanley, because it has been 2 years and they need replacing right now, which is sarcastic, obviously. I checked, the person that made this TikTok even has a Stanley. They have a video in which they have a Stanley. The people that had Stanleys don't belong to the social elite anymore because everyone forgot about them, so we need something new that is sort of affordable to make a new water bottle social elite, I feel like. The water bottle trends confuse me a lot because, as I said, one of the major purposes of having a reusable water bottle is so you stop buying flimsy plastic bottles from the grocery store. But if we're going to treat water bottles as collector's items that you need more than one color of, it kind of defeats that purpose. It probably takes more resources to make a steel water bottle that is sturdy than to make a flimsy plastic one in the end. And a steel Stanley is also made to last more than 2 years. Like, that's Stanley's entire thing. They started out making camping gear that was supposed to be very sturdy, and so is the Stanley bottle. Whatever you think of it, they're supposed to be very sturdy, so they're not meant to be replaced in 2 years. So can we stop with the water bottle trends, please? I know that this trend is still small, like not everyone has heard of it yet, so can we keep it like that and make it die down, like right now? Thank you. And you can just clean your old water bottle if you didn't know. This is your reminder to clean your water bottle, because I also forget to do that all of the time. So clean your water bottle. Anyways, let me know what you think. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please press those wonderful shiny like and subscribe buttons, and then I will see you next time. Ciao!